group of our fine speakers here is going to be Representative Garry Click. Now, State Representative Garry Click is currently serving his first term in Ohio House Representative. He represents the 88th House District, which we've been blessed to have a lot of great people in that district, and you're another one of them. Representative Click earned a Bachelor of Religious Education from Midwestern Baptist College in 1990. It was there he met and married his wife, Nanette. They have proud parents of 4 boys, Nathaniel, Zachary, Garrison, and Micah, and are proud grandparents of 4. I've known this guy only for 2 years. I've never met you before 2 years ago, and you've become a good friend, and we're very happy to have you here. Pastor Click and his wife reside in Vickery, Ohio. Without any further ado, Representative Garry Click.
Thank you, John. I sure appreciate that. And Vickery, Ohio, usually I have to explain to people where that is. And I always mostly say Fremont, because a lot of people don't know where Vickery is. But then I'm surprised sometimes I say, oh yeah, Vickery Tavern, we know right where it's at. And actually the sheriff, that's the first thing he said. And I said, Sheriff, be careful. And I do notice that you sat me next to the sheriff just to make sure I behave today, and I appreciate that. I always need somebody to keep me in line and so forth. And I was telling the sheriff as you were talking, John, you stole the talking points. But that's how it works sometimes, isn't it? Listen, I got to thinking about this. I was assigned to say, express the importance of broadband and rural broadband. And I got to thinking, I don't know about you, but I like some of those time travel movies. I watched one last night. And I'm thinking, Congressman, what if we could go back in time when they were trying to explain the importance of having electricity in every home? And electricity just began with the light bulb. It's like, well, what do I need a dang light bulb for? I got candles, But now today, every home has electricity in it. Or as John said, plumbing. I'm old enough to remember, barely old enough, but I'm old enough to remember when every house did not have indoor plumbing. How many of you have ever been around a place that didn't have indoor plumbing? Yeah, I remember I visited my grandfather. There's a number of you. And those of you who could not raise your hands, boy, you're missing out. And I remember visiting, my great-grandfather was a pastor down in Jellicoe, Kentucky, and pastored the Tennessee Baptist Church. And I remember when I was just a little guy, that tall, had hair, cowlick right there, just like Dennis the Menace. I remember visiting his church, and all they had was the outhouse. There was no running water inside, and I don't know if the deacons were sitting there saying, well, I don't know what we need running water for, or what it was, or if they just couldn't get running water down into the holler again at that time. I don't know. But today, people that don't have running water are just weird. I'm sorry if that offends anyone that's in here today. But the reality of it is pretty soon it's going to be that someone that doesn't have broadband. It's just weird. Why? Because we do that. That's a part of everything that we do. Right? Listen, you get your news on television, but you need broadband for that. Or through the internet. A lot of people get their news online through the internet and through digital sources of media. How many of you do banking online? I do all my banking online. I don't even carry a checkbook. It's all online. And so whatever it is that you're doing, your communications, listen, he mentioned being a grandfather of 4. And when that first started off, my kids were living 9 hours away, and so we had grandkids 9 hours away. And being able to get online and be able to see those little babies and say hello and watch them grow and so forth. And even still, they're only an hour away, but being able to see them online and FaceTime and things like that together. And not Facebook, but broadband internet is just an essential part of doing business these days. You can't do business without it. And that's why it's important for us to take every step to make sure that broadband gets to every home and every business everywhere in Ohio. And that's why, as your state representative, I was very proud to support HB 110, where we designated $250 million in HB 110 for that last mile, getting that broadband to every place, to everyone, everywhere in Ohio. And so I'm glad to be a part of that. I look forward to what our other speakers have to share today. And the next speaker is someone who's so important that he gets 2 seats. One here